Todd through the ASM group.
Okay.
Probably about a year ago, and we've just been conversing back and forth online, and I did a little email blast through Todd's group last year, which was really helpful.
All right, and what are you hoping to learn here tonight?
Well, I'm super excited to learn the multifaceted approach to selling on Amazon that's not just for private labeling, so we can learn other approaches. So I'm really excited about that.
So how do you know Chris and Todd?
I first met Todd on Facebook because I had heard that he had a service where you could do an email blast, and I was looking into that, and I started reading some of the things that he wrote about selling online, and I got really excited because I was already doing some private labeling and selling on Amazon, and I could see that this would be a great way to broaden the number of products that I had and do it in a way that was going to be really affordable and less risky, and I could have a lot more fun than just putting so much effort and money into just a private label effort. So anyway, it was very exciting.
Great. So what are you hoping to learn here tonight?
I want to know more about how to do the unsexy products.
Doesn't everyone?
Yes, well, I definitely do.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Because it'll help me to get more products going, and I really want to make this a business, and I want to be able to retire my husband from the work that he's doing in construction so that we can work together.
Well, good for you. That's awesome. That's great to hear. So how do you know Chris and Todd?
I know them through ASM, but I actually met Chris in Hong Kong on the way to Guangzhou for the Canton Fair. So they seem like really good guys.
They are.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what are you hoping to learn here tonight?
Actually, I'm really interested to learn more about the unsexy products. You know, so, and then just anything really, just open to more knowledge.
So how do you know Chris and Todd?
Well, I met them through the Facebook interactions with other sellers, and through also a Facebook friend of mine that is friend with Todd and Chris. So she just said, you should go, and I did.
Great. And what are you hoping to learn here tonight?
Well, I think they have a lot of ninja tricks, and I want to know how they do things. They do things very differently from what I used to do and what I've learned before. So I want to grab information about e-commerce outside Amazon. I want to learn about branding and how they make it happen to have multiple brands and so many ideas for products. So that sounds really, really interesting.
That's great to hear. I hope you learn that even more.
Me too.
So how do you know Chris and Todd, or what brought you in here tonight?
I was invited to join Chris and Todd through their Ecomm Elite Facebook page. I'm in Vegas because of the Amazing.com summit, but yeah, so I was invited through the Facebook page.
And was there anything specific you were hoping to learn here tonight?
I particularly wanted to meet Todd. You know, I know he'd participated in the ASM Facebook page quite a lot. I know he's very helpful in that community before he was asked to leave. So yeah, I'm interested in hearing more about how he conducts his business and how he grew his business to the size that he grew it to.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. I'm sure you'll learn all that tonight.
All right.
So how do you know Chris and Todd?
Okay, so I did not know Chris. I know Chris from membership on the Ecomm Elite, and I know Todd from ASM group. I'm ASM 4, and I met him on the last ASM meeting here in Vegas. I talked to him a little bit, and we became friends on the Facebook. I always kind of track his messages on the group, and I even make like my own little book to read, and I always kept an eye. And when these came up, I just signed up right then. So yeah, and I came here and I have one product And I feel sometimes like I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. And when I look what they're doing, it looks so different from what I know, and I really desperately want to learn it.
So that's one of the big reasons why you signed up
Yes.
to come today? Yeah.
Yes.
So was there anything specifically you were looking to learn? Or just
Oh,
the
there's
broad
so
concepts?
much. There's
Yeah.
so much to learn that I can't even so much. I think it's a whole different way from what I already know. I watched some videos and yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot of things to learn. So I know it's only 2 hours and we can't learn a lot here, but it's nice. I will meet people. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I hope it's everything you were hoping for. I hope you gain a lot from it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So how do you know Chris and Todd?
I don't know Chris actually. I do know Todd. I know Todd from the Facebook group from Amazing Selling Machine mostly. He was always a wonderful, helpful guy there. So he was actually the only guy answering a few of the questions when I asked him, and he's been doing that for forever. He's like a celebrity there. And then I once did 1 or 2 giveaways with his group as well. So that also helped. I actually, the giveaway didn't work so well for us, and I never was really able to pinpoint why it didn't work so well. He's kind of a busy guy, but I understand why he's making his own course. That's how I know Todd.
Alright. And what specifically brought you in here today? What were you hoping to learn?
So I have a successful Amazon business. We're here for Amazing Selling Machine, and we're just happy to grab this event as well because I just love Todd. And I saw this YouTube video that he put out, and just let's see what he has to say. I mean, he's a wonderful guy. I trust his ethics, so it's interesting to see what. Well, I'm really excited to see what he's going to talk about.
Okay, so I first came across Chris. I'm part of a group called Amazing Selling Machine for a product that I think we all started with, and that was probably about 2 years ago now. And Chris was put on some webinars. He was part of bonus material for the course that I signed up for. So I became aware of him then. And then Todd was very, very active in the Facebook group for the Amazing Selling Machine site, and I got in touch with Todd to ask his advice on product listing, and he kindly referred me to his list and give me a spike in sales, and that helped with my bestseller ranking. And since then we've kind of just sort of bounced ideas around, and I've used both of them as a good sounding board basically, just for product development and research, and now part of this group. And just what I really want to learn going forward is scaling and automation. That's the 2 key things for me, because I'm at a point with the product that's working well. I've got 2 and 3 coming behind that, and I just really want now to just automate it, scale the business, and then eventually step back.
Well, that's great to hear.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. You speak fine.
You know that by now. You're not the smartest guy ever.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Giving away so much money. Wasn't that awesome? Yeah!
Such a bummer you didn't show up.
What are they going to do when they find out we don't have a presentation?
Yeah, this is be kind of awkward, right? No, we really don't have to pay attention.
They kicked us out of Amway earlier today, so we can't do that.
We've got a great business opportunity to show you. Well, thanks for coming. It's Friday night in Las Vegas, and you're here. That's nice of you, but come on. Granted, the city doesn't get started, I guess, until, what, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, right? So you guys have plenty of time after this. But we really appreciate you guys coming out more than you know. We've had tremendous feedback from everybody, and that does mean a lot to us. Who here is a member? You need sound up? Bring the noise, man. Bring the feedback. Any better?
Yeah.
Better?
Stay back.
Thank you.
Stay back here.
Stay back. I get that a lot from people.
Especially photographers.
That's far enough. Yeah, well, there's that. A couple of them. Don't talk about that. Okay, thank you very much for coming. It is Friday night in Las Vegas, and that sounds kind of funny, but you are part of a pretty interesting group, and I'll explain a little bit why in a few minutes of kind of why this was born. Is it fair to kind of jump into the story of why we're doing what we're doing?
We can do that.
Todd and I started Ecomm Elite. Well, let me poll the group. Who is a member currently of Ecomm Elite?
Yeah.
At least no one's booing. That's good. And who is the other show of hands that's brand new, not even a member yet? That's soon to be?
Anybody know why they're not here?
That's cool. I try to go from the
No, I got nothing.
So there's a number of new people here. That is fantastic. I like the rousing response from people on the active members. We've had great feedback from people. All right. This was born. Should I sell Lori LaFawn Johnson?
Yeah.
Somebody started a group. Where is Lori?
Lori, there she is.
Started the group, and this is the God's honest truth. She started a Facebook group. It was called Todd is the Amazon Boss of Us. He's not the boss of me, that's bullshit. But Todd is the Amazon Boss of Us. And that really, as funny as it sounds, that was the impetus for this entire thing. We are guys that run our own respective Amazon businesses. We were part of a certain Amazon training program. We were part of the group. We're no longer part of that group, but that's another story. But in that group, we shared a lot of information. I had a great deal of success pretty early on. Todd had been selling a lot longer than I had, and Todd is, well, combined we're doing about $6 million or so a year on Amazon. So we're sharing a lot of information from some lost souls. Didn't have a lot of answers. We're asking questions, and we were just chiming in and offering up our info and trying to help out. And that seemed to work well. Some people didn't like that, but so be it. So someone had Lori put on, Todd is the Amazon Boss of Us. And a bunch of people came over to our group and said, hey, that sounds fantastic. So we said, all right, we're going to start sharing some information. And because we are capitalists, we're really nice guys. We're also capitalists, and we value our time. We were spending hours every single day helping people out, yeah? And that was fun, and it was exciting, and it was enjoyable because we enjoyed teaching people how to do this stuff. And do this stuff the right way, we decided to monetize it. So we started a little membership group, and that is why we're here. And that was a mere...
Yeah, we just wanted to meet you guys initially, you know?
Yeah, this event was just really to meet a bunch of our members. Put some faces to names. Skype's great, right? Our Hangouts are great. I've been told my webinars I look very green. Sorry. I'm working on that. I gotta put some gels over the lights and some fancy stuff, but as you'll find out, we're not very technically savvy and we're not very bright, but we try to get it done. We just muscle through it. So I'll not be as green. But putting faces to names, handshakes, meeting people is really meaningful, and that's lost a whole bunch. We run e-commerce businesses. I left, you can see my story on our sales page, but I left a corporate job. I was director of sales for a number of years. Had a good 6-figure salary, but I was really tired. Every time I went to Newark, New Jersey or Atlanta, Georgia, I was building somebody else's business, somebody else's dreams, and that was super frustrating. So I wanted my own e-commerce company, so I did just that. But the problem now is the good news and bad news is I work out of the house, so I stand around in my underpants all day and never take a shower, and that's great. But the problem is I never take a shower and stand in my underpants all day. So I don't get to interact with normal human beings, and it's really weird for me because I had a team of 12 and big sales goals and that kind of stuff. Now it's just me, and it's really awkward. Me and my dog, and it's really just, it's awkward. But she is my only coworker. But that's a little bit about my story, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. So thank you all for coming. What we're going to do tonight is a brief presentation. We thought, oh crap, we have a bunch of people coming to see us. We ought to give them some information. So We struggled for this presentation because we have people that are brand new, a couple days selling on Amazon. And we have some people that I know personally, Mr. Davis, over $1 million a year in sales, and more, not just us that are $1 million sellers. How do we present information in a short period of time to those guys and then guys that are just starting out? Hope we're going to hit that mark a little bit to share with them what we're doing. Share the Ecomm Elite websites, okay? Anything you want to add before you get rolling? I don't think so. This is the time where I talk all night, Todd goes, it's going to suck and you're like, Chris, shut up. So we're going to do a boring 2-hour PowerPoint. No, I mean it's really boring. And like Ron Burgundy says, yeah, 91% of all PowerPoint presentations suck. We do have good data though. We have data, we have a percentage of the chart that looks like Pac-Man. We have the section of the chart that does not look like Pac-Man in black. That's all we got. Thanks for coming.
Please lock the doors in the back so nobody can leave.
Here's what we are going to do. We are going to go over the site real quickly. Those that are not members yet, give you a look as far as what that is. You may have been recruited over here going, hey, this is a cool guy, it's serious Amazon stuff. And you're like, uh-huh. And you actually believe them and you're here, which is weird, but thank you. There was free liquor, and I know a lot of you. That's okay, I'm not going to judge. So I want to show you the website. We do want to talk about what we have for a tools suite. A suite of tools we have now. We are active Amazon sellers. That's what we do. So we wanted to put something together that was a package of software that was not 5 or 6 different things. We wanted to put it all under one umbrella, leveraging a number of people. So if we leverage the money and time and folks of a lot of us together, we can spend $6,000 and $10,000 at a whack to build these great things that we can all then share the way we want it, the way we as sellers want it, not some God love him, 19-year-old really good coder in his basement going, you're totally love, this is awesome, and how much do you sell on Amazon? What? They don't know how to actually sell on Amazon. We don't want to do that. We want to give you stuff that works. So that's what we're doing. We have a lot of them live right now. We have a few things coming, which are pretty cool. We're going to talk about something for the Ecomm Elite members. Folks on the webinar are going to dig. Those that are members, something really cool that I think you guys are going to enjoy, to be able to perhaps partner with us to get out of the gates. If you're just getting started, if you've been burned by a product and say, how do I get back in the game? We're going to talk about that. And then a workshop that's coming up that is going to be quite interesting. I think you'll enjoy very much. So, this presentation was hours ago. Where are we supposed to go from here? Yeah, we're supposed to go live. I told you we're going to have a presentation. So for those that are brand spanking new, those members, you recognize this very well. This is our website, ecommElite.com. It is a training course, if you will. That is a consortium of information, hours and hours and hours of training with a big, wide range to it. If you're just getting started, we do have beginner training, we have advanced training, okay? A lot of what Todd does is really high-level stuff. Todd does things, let me back up. My business tends to be more in the private label business. I tend to source stuff from China. I do a lot of sourcing from the US as well, and it's very much geared towards private label. What's the majority of your business? I'm going to make you tell me.
That's okay. Well, you know, I started selling online in 2002, and I'm usually really embarrassed to admit that the reason I started selling online was because I had I couldn't even call it a spectacular business failure. I mean, it was the nuclear disaster of business failures. We can laugh about it a little bit now, but we're talking about, yeah, so here I am in March 2002 going, what am I going to do? I mean, literally lost everything. And had a friend say to me, why don't you sell stuff on eBay? And I'm like, what? What do you mean sell stuff on eBay? I barely knew what eBay was back then, but turns out he was right. I was able to sell stuff on eBay. So my initial online career started selling on eBay and my own web stores because that's how I thought it was done. So I've been dealing with web stores for a long time. I didn't get involved with Amazon until 2010. And the reason I found out that Amazon even kind of existed was I was purchasing customer returned goods from QVC, Sears, Sam's Club, and one day I bid on this pallet through a liquidation portal. When it showed up, every single thing on the pallet was from Amazon. I'm like, what is this? You know? So I started to look at the merchandise, said, this stuff's pretty good stuff. and decided that the best place to resell this stuff and make some money is right back on Amazon. So we turned around and started selling the used stuff as used like new, and the stuff that was brand new is brand new, and oh my gosh, this stuff just started selling. So we were bringing in truckloads every week, truckloads and truckloads of this customer return goods stuff from Amazon. We hit choke points in that business. And one of the biggest choke points was the inspection of the merchandise. You know, you had to put your hands on everything and say, oh, this has a button. Does the button work? Oh, it plugs in. Does the thing work? Because you had to be able to describe it appropriately, or you get in a lot of trouble on Amazon. So we got to the point where we hit like $1 million a year in revenues, and could just tell to scale past that was going to take way more work than I'm used to doing. So we decided in the end of 2010 to do nothing but brand new stuff. So I didn't really know you could buy stuff from China. That's like a scary thing to me. So I decided I was going to buy brand new stuff that was made in the United States or distributed in the United States. And so that's what I started to do, contact distributors that literally had 10, 20, 30,000 products that they could sell to me at wholesale pricing. So my first real job was, how do I go through these lists of 20,000 products and determine what to buy? So we had some software written. We had software written that would take the UPC codes and go to Amazon, figure out what the buy box price was, how many sellers are there, how many reviews on that item, what's the BSR, put it right into that supplier spreadsheet, and by a simple sort, a little formula, right, a little figuring out what the profit would be in a little sort, I just started buying the stuff at the top of the list, the highest profit stuff, and sending it down to FBA or shipping it FBM out of my warehouse. I have a warehouse in Michigan because when we were initially selling, we weren't selling on Amazon. It was our own web stores or eBay, so we've been shipping our own stuff since 2002. FBA was a godsend, but we found out that there's so much profitable stuff that you really can't FBA, that we still wanted to sell. So the warehouse just keeps growing and growing, and we actually work with a lot of international sellers that need us to either do some FBA prep for them or FBA inspection and then shoot it down to FBA for them. So what was I supposed to talk about?
That was fine, you talked some. That was
The tools? We talk about the tools?
No, not yet. Oh, that was a good story. Thanks.
Sorry, I get distracted easily.
We were going to give away some cash, so we can figure that part out.
We can give some cash away.
All right, give cash away. We're going to do a drawing. We need to do drawings. Let's grab a couple. Can Becca grab a couple? Well, go grab those cards, and then I'll keep vamping here.
Hey, can you bring me the cards?
So
Chris wants to give cash away.
That's just how I do it.
We figured cash says we love you, right? You know.
So I'll continue as we're getting cash. Beginner training, advanced training, there's a number of quizzes, hours and hours and hours of information. I wanted to share. Todd's business is a bit different than mine. Mine, private label, tends to do slightly different things. It's an interesting mix of folks we have in our membership site, and also it's an interesting mix of what Todd and I do. I don't do buy box stuff. I don't worry about that. It's all of my stuff is private label stuff. So we have a very wide range of training in here.
Oh, I do private label stuff too, by the way. Matter of fact, I know we want to get some cash away, but matter of fact,
Everyone's like, stop talking and give money to us.
I know, I will, but I accidentally private labeled some stuff once.
Accidentally.
I didn't know that's what it was called. We went on Amazon, we did some research.
I was sanding labels off of products.
Yeah. But that one sounds pretty good, you know? Back in the day, you know, if you had a generic enough item, you would just go on Amazon, do a search term, and whatever came up on, you would just slap your generic item on that thing. People call that hijacking nowadays.
Whatever.
I kind of invented that too, I think. So one day, one of these other sellers calls me and says, "What the frick are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You're on my listing." I said, "Yeah, we're both making money." He goes,
We all win.
He goes, "Did you know that you'd make more money if you had your own page?" I said, "How do you do that? And why would I do that? You know, I'm happy on your page." This is like way back, you know. So So this competitor actually showed me how to create my own product page so I'd get off a hit. God bless him, because we made so much money. Oh my God. The very first product we bought, one of the things we got really, really good at is taking many, all right? Think of like a 50-gallon barrel of whatever, all right? And selling it in smaller quantities. Ounces, pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds. Not dime bags, no. But,
Can you do that?
we're not gonna go there.
Colorado, you can do that.
The very first experience I had with this private labeling thing was a 1 pound bag of something that I turned into 1,000 tiny little bags of something, right? That $19 bag made me $1,000 in profit, $1 per something, all right? So yeah, so then I was kind of like, oh, this private labeling thing's got something to it. So we do some private labeling. However, like I said, I'm really technology based. I like to take the list from the distributors. I like to find the successful products where the page is already optimized. The page has already got a great DSR. And I go in there and I get my share of the buy box. So we're gonna talk about that because a lot of people don't understand this. There's people out there that says, no, you can't make any money doing that. My wife begs to differ, all right? Because she spends most of it. And she's pretty happy.
There's a lot.
All right? So, this one concept, what are we supposed to be talking about now?
Thank you. Someone's paying attention for you.
Donna Nutter. Donna? Where's Donna? Come up here.
That was a big gas. Did you pass out?
We want to give this away tonight to you guys, all right? And it might take a while, but...
She's thinking that's her whole stack of cash. Put the whole thing away.
You can pick one. Hey, pick one. No. Pick that one. What are you going to do with that? Black roulette. 50-50 odds or something like that. No. Yeah, maybe a little something.
Now we're totally lost.
I know. We're just going to give away some money. Pick a card, will you?
Me?
Yeah, might as well. You're not in there, are you?
No.
Who else we got?
Ecomm Militzer.
Where are you? You're very welcome. What are you going to do with that?
Oh,
You're going to invest in yourself, I hope, right?
Go home,
Part of your ticket, that's
go home
wonderful.
and buy a palace with that
Yeah.
thing.
What are we supposed to do now?
I'm going to focus.
Oh.
Someone's going to steer the ship. Okay, so part of what, again, Todd's background is more in, like we said, that was the worst. I'm trying to focus. Is anyone paying attention?
You guys fight over that one.
You have to go up and down the aisle. This has gone so wrong so quickly. Okay.
What's that? Someone said they weren't coming unless we gave away Hunzies, and I was like, what's a Hunzie? You know?
That's pretty gauche, but I hope you guys like money, so that's kind of a fun thing to do. So back to our site, training, advanced and beginner training for sure. A lot of marketing information. We do right now. We're training towards every week and a half or so for my green-faced webinars, where we meet with all the members to talk about Q&As, things that are coming up. We try to engage pretty heavily with the community. We have a whole suite of tools that we will be talking about soon. Yeah, that guy's sure to put that in there. That's great. Hells yeah, I'm putting that in.
You do not look like an Alexandra.
I thought we were just making up names now. Turd, Ferguson.
I want to talk about tools. I want to talk about our tools.
Hold on, yeah, tools are coming up. One last thing. Those that aren't in yet, those that are members have access to our really active. People digging the Facebook community so far? Good.
Isn't it great?
Really active Facebook community that's been very, very helpful. And we were frustrated by some Facebook communities in the past, people being not treated well, that kind of thing. We're really trying to stay cool in that group to share information. We try to answer as many questions as we can, but it's been a great group because someone will ask a question and in a very short period of time, someone will say, don't worry about it, you can just PM me and I'll help you out. That's wonderful. So we're building a nice community around that. So thank you for that, members. Okay, tools. We're in bigger part, as I said, of why we started this. The community is great, the training is great for sure, and it's been hugely helpful, I think, to a lot of people. Those that aren't members yet, when we break up at the end, if you're not running around spending $100 bills or getting too drunk yet, talk to some other members and ask what they think so far, because they're the best folks that are going to answer, gee, should I join the community or not? I can sell it all day long, but they're the people that are going to help you the most, okay? The tools suite is what the big impetus for this, really, because we know there are a number of different tools that you need. Amazon's great, Seller Central is fantastic, but capturing all that data and information is challenging. It's not a really great system to visualize things, graphically, to analyze things over a period of time. Doing split testing, A/B testing, put an event somewhere saying I raised the price here, and my sales did this or they did this. Virtually impossible with that. We've developed a tool to do exactly that. Todd's going to go through all of these tools. So this is the membership site. Okay, we're going to get back to our presentation to go through all of these things that we've got ever so briefly to show you what we have for you guys. So, all right, sorry, disclaimer. These slides are awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
there's no way to show the screen, but
there's too much detail.
These are more for our very simple brains to remember to trigger us like Cro-Magnon men.
And I had to redact the crap out of them too because I was using my account. But
so go.
Yeah. All right. Basically, the stats tool is after you've got your products up and running and you've got some data coming through, you want to be able to analyze it in such a way that's going to benefit you moving forward. So I apologize in advance if you're sitting there, don't have anything going yet, you're not ready for the stats tool. But what it does is it gives you a dashboard connected to your Amazon account so that when you log in, you're immediately going to see how many units have sold, what your gross sales were, and what your total profit was. And I mean a true net SKU profit, not the numbers you see in Seller Central, and I'll show you how that's possible. You can change the dates, the filter for whether you're looking at the last 7 days, the last 30 days, year to date, whatever you want to do, and those numbers are going to update. What you can't really see that well is there's also a product by product list, you know, SKU by SKU. Now I have over 92,000 products in here, and this thing runs like a champ. We have it built on a very solid platform, lots of bandwidth. We haven't been able to do anything to choke it out. So it's going to tell you how many units sold for each SKU, what the total percentage of sales that represented, the sales amount, the profit, and the last purchase date. The little button on the left over there is going to create a graph. Can we go to a graph? Do we have that? There we go. Okay. So you can look at this for every single product. The top line, the green one, is your price. The blue line that's all over the place are your sales per day. So every time you make a change in price, you can see what happens to your sales per day. And you probably can't see this, but right on the bottom, there's a little blue dot. The blue dot signifies an event. Oh, okay, I'll move over. An event that you can define. So you make an event on that day, lowered price to this. And you can see where that happened. And if you hover over that, it'll remind you what it is.
That's virtually impossible to do anywhere. And it's a really great tool because, man, we can't do the A/B testing. I want to do some price elasticity testing. I want to lower it and see what it does. I want to raise it and see what it does. Tracking that is on whatever half-baked system we come up with in Excel or some Word document or write on your walls. That's all we got. This is a really nice way to capture that.
And it can be any event. Change the title, change the bullet points. You really only want to tweak one thing at a time anyway. So now you have the ability to do all of the tweaking and track what it did to your daily sales. Sometimes you'll be amazed that raising the price will increase daily sales. You're not going to know unless you have a way to track all of that.
Missed that one. Missed that one?
No, yeah. And again, you can't tell anything from this slide, so let me just tell you what you're supposed to be able to see. All right, this is the page that you enter in the costs of your items, okay? You're going to be able to say, this SKU costs me this much. If it's FBA, all the FBA fees are going to be in there. If you did some PPC on Amazon, thank you. It's going to, you can account for it there, and any other miscellaneous costs that you want to for that SKU. So you just load that in one time, And you don't have to touch it again unless something changes. Your cost change, goes in there, change your cost one time. And you're always going to have your reports by net revenue, which is how I like it. That's why we did that. Good? Yeah. All right. You're going to receive a daily, question?
Back to the PPC calculation, that number goes up and down based on how we have our settings. Will your tool automatically pull the numbers, or do we have to put the numbers into it?
Okay, the question was, can we pull the PPC numbers directly from Amazon? Amazon does not make that information available outside of Seller Central. So what you're really doing here is, if you want to sit down once a week or once every 2 weeks and do some analysis, you figure out what that number was from an Amazon report and just put it in there.
We'd love to have it. We can't get it.
It's impossible.
To the API.
That's the best
there's
we can
certain things
do.
you can pull down to the API, and there's stuff that you can't, that you just can't.
Yeah, okay.
I'd love to. Believe me, I'd love to have it. I mean,
Yeah.
We're going
that system's clunky to begin with.
one of the enhancements that we're making to this right now that's coming out within the next week or two is the FBA revenue calculator. So now, when you put your numbers in there for your SKU, you can just hit a button and it'll tell you what the net revenue is going to be if that item's FBA, or you can plug in the information for FBM and compare them and make a decision about what's best for you. You can go do that on the FBA revenue calculator all by itself, but it's actually integrated now to where once you've entered your cost and other numbers, it'll pull that right into the FBA revenue calculator. Just saves time. This is a daily report. We have 3 reports, daily, weekly, and monthly. They're all emailed to you automatically. Once you've entered your email into the system and indicated you want those reports or just the daily report, this is what you're going to get. Again, all the products and SKUs are redacted out of there, but the gist of this is it shows you how many you sold the day before yesterday and how many you sold yesterday. Annotates it with a positive green positive mark there, or a negative, or a red negative. And the whole idea is, I just look for the negatives. Okay, that one's negative. Why is it negative? Oh, well, we sold 8 one day and then 4 the next. Probably not a big deal. But if I sold 200 one day and then 100 the next, I want to go look at something. Remember, I got over 90,000 products. I have to have this. All right? But I don't care if you've got 20 products. Do you really want to be looking at this stuff individually? Or you just get one email in your box, you have your morning coffee, your donut, or whatever, and you go, oh, I got 2 negatives. I better go see what's going on.
Let me add one thing to that. 90,000 products?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of products. For people going, I can't do 90 products. That's cool, I get that. Or I don't want to do 90 products. I don't do 90 products. I do 33 SKUs at this point. Yeah, Todd sells more than me. But, not a lot more. But, for those going, I can never scale to that point. I don't want to deal with that. That's totally fine. Again, in this community, we've got some people doing, I don't know, 15 SKUs, selling $1 million. That's okay. All right? These are very different models that we teach. You may like one, you may like the other. We were a little bit frustrated by a very myopic, very specific tunnel vision on it has to be this type of thing, and it fits this. It was hard to see the forest for the trees. You got to do this and this and this, and if it doesn't fit that criteria, it's not worth it, not doing. Good God. Ecomm, elite, e-commerce. That's the broader perspective, okay? I want to make sure we share that. I sell on house.com, Rakuten.com, Wayfair.com, Sears.com, and Amazon, and our own domains, okay? You sell a number of different places. E-commerce, a much wider span of what we're doing here. And something at the end we'll talk about, which is really cool, and it's useful for all things across e-commerce. It's going to be very, very helpful.
Yeah, we still have something that we think is going to blow your mind by the end of the night.
We had a crappy.
Hi.
Does that hold promos also? I launched about a month ago. I still have 0, 0, 0, 0 on mine, so maybe I have it loaded incorrectly. Every day I get zeros. But I have like 25 promos and 2 organics. So I should have some type of numbers.
We need to make sure your AWS keys are, did you fill out a support ticket?
Of course not yet.
Okay. 24/7, we have that little support button there. I paid a lot for that little blue support
Use the button. You paid money for the button. Push the button. Use the button.
We can troubleshoot it right now if you want.
It would pick up promos. It would pick up promos.
No, but it has a space that if you knew that you had X amount of dollars spent in that period of time, you would simply divide it by the number of units sold and enter the number into the appropriate spot. Just like the other problem with the PPC cost, Amazon is just really strange about their data and some things they don't let outside of Seller Central.
Let's keep rolling. We gotta roll.
Okay.
Oh, keyword tracker. Okay. So once you're got a product and you got it on Amazon, what are you trying to do? You're trying to optimize it for the keyword phrases that you believe will give you the most bang for the buck in the search results. All right. How many of you go to Amazon and type in your keyword that you want to rank for and then start counting? Not on that page. Yeah. You're not the only one. There's another one. Oh yeah, you're being honest now.
He does it every morning with 90,000
Yeah,
products.
try doing that, right. So we put a keyword tracker in the program, all right? This is brand new. Most of the members haven't even seen it yet. You enter your ASIN, the keywords that you want to track, any number. If you want to track 1,000 keywords, our server will crush that for you, all right? And there's no extra charge for this, okay? You can use this all you want.
All the tools are part of the membership, all of the tools.
You can track your competitors. You know what? The programmer was integrating it into the menu. The only thing that's missing is that stupid little link on the menu. It's up, it's live, I'm the one that's using it right now. But once the programmer, he was supposed to have done it.
I think Tom had it done.
It is, Tom said it was done?
It was done.
Okay, yeah, it's available right now. All right, your competitors' ASINs you can put in there. If you want to see what he's doing with his keywords, this is how you can do it. Doesn't matter how many ASINs you want to track, doesn't matter how many keywords. All right?
Can you extract it?
Unlimited keywords.
Yeah.
Keywords for all my friends.
Oh, you'll notice what you can also tell is it's also tracking BSR. All right? So not only is it only going to track what happens to your placement every single day and graph it out, you click on the BSR button and it tells you where you are with your BSR every single day. Awesome stuff.
Todd?
Yep.
Question on your keyword. Is it how deep does it go? 50, 100, 2,000? I mean,
I believe 300. If you're not ranked 300, you really don't want to know where you're ranked. Trust me on that one. All right. So once you get some work in there and you're getting it done, and then you see that thing pop in at 297, you know you're not far from getting it making it worth watching. Okay. Scraper tool. Now this might take a minute.
See how fast we can crank through.
Okay, all right. Like I said, I go to a distributor and he'll give me a list of 5,000, 10,000, 30, 40,000 products, all right? How do you research that list in a short period of time? You use software. I've been using these tools for years and they're fantastic, all right? What this particular one allows you to do is to take an Excel spreadsheet full of either just UPC codes or UPC codes and the product cost. And you simply load it up, choose your file, determine what marketplace, US, UK,
that comes from
Japan, Mexico.
Comes from
What comes from?
companies. How do you get those lists?
Oh, the distributors. See, that's what I need 3 hours to tell them how to do that. But
We're moving
it's
on.
all in the membership, but the bottom line is, once you've got these lists, a lot of you already know how to get them, all right? You pop it in there, you hit the little blue button, and then you go have a coffee or whatever, and it will automatically email you the results that will have the original information, the UPC and the cost if you put that in, the title from Amazon, the ASIN, the number of sellers, how many people the number of sellers, the number of reviews, the BSR, and the buy box price, right? That's all in an Excel spreadsheet. You got the buy box price, you've got your manufacturer's cost, you do a little, well, actually I forgot. You don't have to do the formula, because it does it for you already. Woo! So when the spreadsheet shows up in your inbox, it's already got the profit. And all you have to do is sort it and start looking from top to bottom. Can I buy that? Yeah. How many should I get? Yeah. Am I going to send it up? Yeah. All right? We've made the research just so simple. And this is how you get your products up and going, right? Private labeling is great. But how long does it take to load a file and hit a button and take a look and say, well, this is the highest profit product out of 10,000?
It's a way to get in the game faster, to use existing products with existing UPCs that sell on Amazon and find those tiny little golden nuggets of, wait a minute, I can sell that thing and make a profit. And it does it with huge volumes of products.
Is it private label? No. But, just real quick, I know you're going to cut me off. Real quick. If you're buying stuff from a distributor and you're selling it on an already existing product page at Amazon, and it's making you money, what's the first thing you want to do? Private label it, all right? So this is also another way to kind of funnel down to what should I private label, all right? I'm not going to guess anymore what's selling. I'm going to list 5,000 we haven't got to that yet, right? I'm going to take an inventory position in the most popular, profitable products and get my feet wet that way, and then maybe private label something. We've got something else that we do that allows you to list 10,000 products at a time and have them drop shipped from the distributors with the exact same concept to find the stuff that's selling to figure out what you want to private label. We don't really have time to go into, just trust me, it works, all right? I talk to people about, this is what really kind of bothers me a little bit. I tell people that I do a lot of drop shipping, and they look at me like they're crazy, because they say, you can't make any money drop shipping. There's too much competition. You know, there's a race to zero. You know, everybody's buying from the same suppliers. You know what? I don't do it that way. I do it a totally different way. Yes, sir?
So when you use this technique, like what type of profit margin are you talking about on a particular product?
20% on average.
20%?
Yeah, it's not 300%, but it's 20%, and it does add up.
We have access to, who knows about Jungle Scout Pro? Have you guys seen that cool tool? Great,
Wow.
great tool. Members have access to Jungle Scout Pro, you get it free. There you
It's
go.
another way to do product research.
It's a snapshot of, you put in a keyword, and what it'll do is it'll return the top, 40 or so results, and all the information that go along with it, price and BSR and ranking and everything else like that. And then if you just want to hit the next page, you can do it. You can filter all those results. I want it in certain prices. I want certain BSR and that kind of thing. And you can export that as a CSV file, slap it into an Excel spreadsheet. It does all your product research far faster.
Another way to buy products.
Greg is a wicked smart guy, and we partnered with him to say, hey, let us have access to that. So all you members get that at no cost. We have InstaBuilder.
Yeah, if you never heard of InstaBuilder, it's a landing page website generator, actually is what it is. You know, like I said, we make money lots of different ways. We'll run Facebook ad campaigns, we'll send people to a landing page. How do you make a quick, beautiful looking landing page with a video background if you want? InstaBuilder. 5 minutes to make a landing page that's just insanely beautiful. You've used it? Yeah. You know, if you went to our Vegas page to sign up, that was an InstaBuilder page, all right? So you can make microsites, squeeze pages, all kinds of pages, part of the membership.
You get that.
You get that.
Coming soon.
All right.
Very soon.
We just integrated customer information into the stats program that I told you about earlier. So now it's pulling in all the customer data, their phone numbers, their address, what they bought, how many times have they bought. So why do we do that? Because everybody's kind of excited about that, but why do we really, really do it?
Email tool.
Email tool!
I gotta get it.
Email tools.
Who said email tool? Oh, I get it.
All right.
Frank did? Was it you really? You liar pants. There's honest people here. Frank, you should be ashamed of yourself for that.
I'll pass it to him.
Shoot. Email tool, yes.
Anybody heard of Feedback Genius? Yeah. We're going to stomp them in the ground. We're going to make such a great tool for you guys.
We're making friends everywhere.
Yeah.
Why do you stomp them in the ground? Just say we can build a different tool.
Yeah, if we see a great tool that's overpriced, we're going to make it part of our membership. So we love Feedback Genius. I use Feedback Genius, been using it for a long time. But again, with the economy of scale that we have with the membership group, to put a top programming team on creating our own Feedback Genius tool and making it better and making it the way we want it is possible because of you guys.
You do have free access to merchantwords.com. Don't know why that didn't get it. Do you want to talk about that?
Merchantwords.com.
I added up the totals today. If you go out, and this is not internet marketing, it's $2,000, but today it's $100. This is retail price. You go to the websites and buy them. These are tools that I used. If you buy Merchant Words, that's a monthly charge. If you do Jungle Scout, and if you do InstaBuilder, and you do the monthly fees for an email tool, and you get the stats tool, and you get those other tools, it is a one-time payment of $197, and then you'd be paying $360 a month every month thereafter for all those tools. That's what we were doing. We said, that's stupid. Let's spend a lot of money to build our own tools. That's what we did. And that costs you the cost of a membership for Ecomm Elite. That's it. okay, along with training that goes along with that, and we're building more and more stuff. So, to give you an apples to oranges comparison, that's real dollar numbers for you.
And the thing is kind of, we're conflicted. When we got up here, we're like, gosh, should we talk about the tools, or should we give like a meaty lesson? Because the thing is the knowledge that's in our membership group we haven't seen it anywhere. I mean, the beginning stuff, yeah, everybody's got a course on how to sell on Amazon, right? All right, so we've got that in there too. But our advanced stuff, how do you get 90,000 products listed, right? Nobody's teaching that. How to do the drop shipping correctly. Nobody's teaching that. They're all teaching it the old way, right? The way you can't make any money at doing it. How about scraping to find light bulb purchasing? Who's talking about that? We don't see anybody doing it, right? So we feel the value just in the knowledge that's in the program. You can barely put a price tag on. And then there are the tools, all right? So no matter how you're looking at it, yeah, I want the knowledge, or I want the tools, or I want both. It's there for you.
This is real quick, but this is a real cool one.
All right. We have done a lot of research. I've been doing research ever since I've been selling on Amazon. Over about the last 8 months, we discovered that Amazon has changed the way they assign the buy box. The old way they did it was basically on seller metrics. Maybe how much inventory they had, their feedback score. And when they assigned the buy box, for the most part, that person had the buy box until a more powerful seller came along to knock them out based on Amazon's algorithm. All that's changed. Over the last 8 months, what we've seen them go to is what's called, we call it anyway, buy box timeshare. So, all things kind of being equal, and by the way, FBA makes things kind of equal, and if the pricing is all within a certain percentage, whatever number of sellers on there that fall into those parameters have the buy box rotated amongst them. I see heads going up and down, so a lot of you have probably figured this out on your own too. Yes, sir?
Is it an even rotation?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. If you've got 5 sellers that are all FBA and they're all within, say, $1 or $2 in price, for the most part, if you go to your business report and look at your buy box percentage, you're going to have it 20% of the time. All right? Yes, sir? Quantity, only when you're about to run out. Okay? Yeah, they're going to run you out, and then they're going to knock you out. And then the next guy might pop in if his price is close enough to yours, or it might just keep it within 3 people. Hold the questions just for a minute, because I want to make this point, all right? I found that in my business report, if I'm getting 10% of the buy box because there's 9 other sellers on there, or 20% of the buy box, there wasn't a lot I could do about that. And then we thought about it, and we said, what could we do to maybe help put our members in those other buy box slots that are available? What could we do? Maybe tell them what products they can buy and go into that buy box. Now, what do we get out of that? Nothing. My buy box percentage is going to stay the same. So what am I losing? Nothing. But you guys get to gain from this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take products that we're already selling, that we have 10 or 20% of the buy box, and we're going to let our members come onto that buy box with us. We're going to take those products and send them down to FBA for you on your account. Just because we can, all right? We're going to gain a lot more data from this, and you guys are going to benefit. That's good.
I hope that helps. That's exciting. It's for international sellers, huge help. Because you don't have to go through all the rigors of what's going on, because Todd can receive it in the warehouse, FBA prep it, send it out. You can get in the game, get back in the game, something happened, you had a product that flopped, hop in and see what's going on. Watch the process, understand the process. Okay, now I can do that. Gain some confidence. That's really what the end
If you're just getting going and you don't even have a product yet, or whether you got 1,000, it doesn't matter. There's no reason you shouldn't do this. You're going to start to figure out how everything works. You're going to get some money in your pocket, right? Then go private label something. But now you've got some money to do it with that, came from somebody else.
Before the funds, a couple more drawings.
Oh, somebody wants some money?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You want to pull one? Pull one out of there.
A lot of pressure. Pull the right name.
Catalina Castro Lagos. Where are you?
Now we're going to come running. Anybody's going to come running for money. Well done, Kathleen.
Congratulations. There you go. Come on.
He doesn't get a lot of action. He's like a pretty girl. That's probably the cheapest he's gotten out this weekend.
Oh,
okay.
We got something.
Someone, how about dating ourselves? Who in 2015 would put up a picture of the fawns? We did. Yeah. Because we're knuckleheads. So, yeah, wait through it. A few more minutes for something really cool. This one's interesting. We are going to couch this with, we really try hard not to be those guys, internet marketing guys.
Yeah.
And the idea of, oh, I'm going to do a pitch. We thought, do we really want to do that? We don't want to piss everybody off. We don't want you guys coming going, here it comes. Tease us with hundreds and then hit us with a bat. We don't want to do that. But this is an opportunity that is quite unique that not a lot of people are talking about. And you've done testing Todd tested for an entire year. And if you want me to preface this a little bit?
No, I can preface.
Okay. Here, let's try.
Since we've been selling since 2002, we built up quite an email list, quite a list of buyers, as you can imagine, right? And a lot of you guys have probably heard the money's in the list, right? All right, everybody's heard that. You really know what it means. What do you do? How do you get a list? I mean, I, for years, had tens and hundreds of thousands of emails from buyers that have been buying from us, never did squat diddly with it. I had no clue what that meant. I had heard it, money's in the list, and I kept looking at my list going, where's the money? How do I get the money out of this thing? You know? Then it finally hit me, all right? And I ran into somebody who told me that he basically, well, I can't go into this story too much. This guy was making a couple $100,000 a month just mailing his list, Amazon products. And I was like, oh, okay, how can I like do this, right? But not competitive, because I didn't want to knock him off. What I discovered was I could email my list Amazon deals. Now, how many of you guys have heard of like lightning deals and gold box deals? Right, okay. You know how many Amazon buyers have heard of these things? Almost none. I mean, there's a percentage short. They have this big link right on their homepage, today's deals. You can click on it and see all the gold box deals and the lightning deals. But the average Amazon buyer does not do that. All right. So I put a bunch of these together, none of my own products at all, and I stuck, what's it called? An affiliate link onto the URL. Then I would put it on a web page, right? All these different products for that day, and I would let my email list know that the daily specials were ready for their viewing, right? They would go to that page, and when they hit to find out more about that $3 silicone spatula, if you're familiar at all with the Amazon affiliate program, they get a cookie for 24 hours, and you get a percentage of anything they buy. Not your product, or I mean, it can be your product, it doesn't have to be anything. So I'm looking at this. The very first day I did it, I didn't send it but to maybe, I don't know, 100 people, right? I made 18 cents, okay? And a lot of people would look at that and say, forget about this, 18 cents. You know what I do? Oh my gosh, if I'd have sent it to 10,000 people, what would I have made, right? If I'd have sent it to 500,000 people, what would I have made? Right? The answer is a boatload of money, all right? So I started to look at this profit center, and I was a little, you know, because you say affiliate to somebody, and what's the first thing that happens? Oh, you can't make any money with that. Just like drop shipping, huh? Okay. So I figured, well, I just can't be doing this the way anybody else is doing it, right? So everybody was saying to me, oh, Todd, you know, you're making all this money with Amazon affiliate because of your huge list. All right, fine. So I set my list aside. I said, I'm going to start from scratch, just like I was anybody, right? And we did it with Facebook ads. We got a slide?
Nope.
Let's go to...
We have slides, not the ones you want.
Well, yeah, not the ones I want. Well, you can back up a little bit. I guess I'm getting ahead of myself.
Way ahead of you.
All right. Okay. What I wanted to do was to find out how big of a list could I build, what was it going to cost me, and once I stopped paying to buy email addresses, right? Capturing email addresses, how long would the affiliate income continue for, right? So I did this for 1 year. I spent around $6,000 on Facebook ads. It cost me, depending on the day, I got this all graphed out, we just can't show you this crummy slides. But I stopped advertising after 10 weeks, and I picked up right around 4,800 email addresses. Now these people went from a Facebook ad to my landing page, built with InstaBuilder, and submitted their email in exchange for joining my VIP club so that they could get a daily list of specials, right? So after building up the list, spent about $6,000, like I said, we still kept engaging daily to that list. And you know what happened? We made the same amount of money every single day, pretty much. We were getting $1.50 per email per month for everybody that was on our list. Over the year, we lost 8% of the list. That was it. That was the attrition. So we spent about $6,000, and at the end of the year, we had close to a $5,000 profit. Now those numbers aren't really exciting, but that was just a test that anybody can do. So does it take $5,000? Yeah, but you're going to make that money back instantly because you're mailing every day. If you only pick up 5 emails the first day, send them an email. You only get 10 more the next day, send them an email. And eventually the money that you're making from the affiliate commissions is going to exceed what you spent on the Facebook ads. But it isn't one of these get-rich-quick things. That's only one of the reasons that you want to do this. So if you're selling on Amazon because of what I know that you don't know, you have to understand that you have to do this, all right? You can either figure it out on your own, or we're going to have a one-day workshop where we're going to do it from start to finish to show you how to do it so that when you leave, you know the thing's actually working, which is why he was saying we don't want to be those guys, but this is something that we really feel is valuable. Eventually we'll have all the information, video tutorials in the membership site on how to do this, and you can do it on your own if you want.
For our members, to be clear, it's not one of these, oh, look what we have, and you gotta buy it. It will be in the membership site. It's going to be after the workshop that we're doing, but the workshop is a one-day event that you will have it built for you, and being profitable, well, you're going to be spending money, and it's going to be starting some affiliate commissions with 18 cents at the click, but building that list to do amazing things with, but you will leave with it done, completed. You see how it's done, and it's going to be running for you in perpetuity.
If you've ever seen an Amazon associate sales report, it tells you everything they bought. And what do you think you might do with that data? Anybody spitballing it out right now? It's absolutely a gold mine for developing private labels products. You can go on a demographic specific Facebook list building hunt, right? Find out what that demographic group is buying, and when you find the commonality, what do? You private label. Now, the best part about this, in my opinion, is you don't even have to private label it for selling it on Amazon, right? You can put it in your own web store, and all of a sudden now the traffic you're driving on Facebook goes to your web store to a demographic specific group that has already told you what they're buying. All right. I just get so excited talking about this. All right. Oh yeah, so this is just a quick snapshot to show you that, I know you can't see anything. For 1 month, we had 4,207 items shipped to that list of about 4,800 people, 4 items returned, okay? And the revenue was $1,712. Profit, yeah, $1,712. I mean, I can show you that month after month after month. It was very consistent.
And what else do you do that list for launching private label products?
All right. People would come to me all the time because I have a program that was called the Promo Blaster, okay? Because people wanted to launch. They had a brand new private label product, and obviously they didn't have any friends because they were asking me, to mail their product to my email list, right? Which I was happy to do. All I asked was that they made a donation to a charity that I was supporting, Team World Vision, which brings water to kids in Africa. and save lives. Right? So,
How much did you donate?
huh?
How much did you donate?
96,000. I'll try to get it to 100 by the end of the year. But the way we did that is because we said, okay, we'll send you out a promo blast. How about you donate something to this charity, right? We never took a nickel. We just wanted to help these kids. So there were also what we call some legacy members that were incredibly generous. And in exchange for some hours of my time, they donated $10,000 each. And there were 7 of those. So just amazing people. They helped so many kids. But yeah. There's probably out. There's at least one here tonight probably, and if you're here, come see me after. In any event, people were offering me, just like the other day, someone said, I'll donate $1,000, just launch to your list. You know what? You don't need a launch to my list. We're going to show you how to build your own list, okay? We're not into this throwing fish at you so you can eat. Let's just show you how to do it. Like Chris said, we'll eventually have all this information in the membership probably by next March, okay? Because I have a lot other things I want to get in before then. But in January 16th, right, we're going to do a special workshop in Orlando, Florida. Why? Because it's warm in Orlando, hopefully, in January.
It's supposed to be warm here.
I know.
It's not.
So we're going to go over how to use those Facebook ads and also AdWords. We use AdWords to build a list. Everybody said, you can't make any money using AdWords. It's too expensive. I guess I'm just stupid because it worked for me. So we're going to show you how to do all that. There's ad networks that you can use. We're going to show you how to set up the landing pages so that they'll convert, so that you can collect the emails at a decent rate per email to make everything worthwhile and profitable, and how to manage and track the email list to properly matrix them, and be able to mail to them daily without spending a lot of time or energy.
Will it be live?
Huh?
Will it be live?
Nope. Nope. And it's going to be very limited because we're going to be working with everybody one-on-one during this thing. And again, it's nothing you have to come to. It's just if you feel you're at that point where you want to add this profit center in the list building, come on out. If not, the information's still going to be available.
Training will be available then?
Yeah, probably a couple of months after this workshop to be fair to. Yeah.
And in fairness, as a qualifier, if you're squeezing a $100 bill and that's all you got, listen, this is a great profit center and it's a great way to build your business.
But it takes money.
It takes some dollars to do it. Don't do that if you're just kind of holding on, partner on some product, figure out. But if your business is scale, if you want another revenue stream, that second or third leg of the stool, to have some other ways to go, other revenue streams for yourself. If you want to have that list where you can say, God, launching products is a bear. Well, now I have 5,000 people that make me $1.50 per month in profit. And I can just say, hey, here's a great deal on the product. And you're going to get 500 buys or 1,000 buys. When you do that, that's a really great tool to have at your disposal.
Plus, if you've been trying to figure out how to launch your own products, we've done this thousands of times. And we've had successful product launches just by launching to our list, doing nothing else. 0 product reviews. Everybody says you can't launch a product until you have 10 or 15 product reviews. Nonsense. I do it all the time. It's a brand new product. That's what you're telling these people. They don't expect to see product reviews. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Yeah, the passive Amazon affiliate income is great, but I really like the reports, right? We talked about writing out your list. If you want to make your own little promo blaster, make your lists available to other people to do launches, they're going to pay you to do that, right? Absolutely, they're going to do that. And like these people that want to join us in Florida, we're thinking that they might want to get together and blast their stuff to each other's lists. And there's nothing wrong in doing that. There's absolutely none of this foot nonsense or anything.
Yeah, imagine that. You go, we just didn't go that today, but if you've got a list of people, you're all at that organization, you say, let's share some lists and launch products for each other, holy moly, is that a big network of people. And then you've got a list, you can say, well, let's leak it out to an email list and I can get 50 sales this day and 100 sales this day and then 250, and then that product ranks really fast.
Are you saying that you spent initially $6,000 and then now you're getting about $1,700 a month off that initial? Or
Correct.
You're constantly spending to get that?
No. Now, we had an 8% attrition over the 12 months. So at some point, you're going to want to put more money into getting more names, but only because you're spending 5 to make 5, right? It's not like you're just constantly pouring money into it.
And we don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but that's not with a lot of testing, because you didn't have the time to do it. I mean, it wasn't tweaked, it wasn't A/B tested, and that kind of stuff. But it's not, hey, take a lump of money and throw it in. You're spending some and gaming the list, and then you're making 18 cents. And you're spending a little bit more, and you're making 36 cents. You know how that goes. So it's kind of, that's scaling where the graphs will cross where you're spending, and then all of a sudden, now making in January was $1,700. So
Right.
you may have spent to that month $3,000.
We had some months, just because of just the weirdness in the market, where we were getting $3.80 for every email, and profit for every email we had.
But those graphs crossed in March. You started in November. In March, it was now profitable.
It was like the second week in November, and it was at the first week of March.
So the ROI was 4 months, just to answer that question. But it takes money. It takes money. Yes, fellas in the back.
Yes, have you ever used your customer list and done like an email append and sent out email blasts to your actual customers that you've gotten from Amazon, or have you?
I've been a pilot for over 30 years, and I can't hear crap anymore. So I'm really sorry.
Have we used our Amazon list?
So your customer list from Amazon that you don't get their email, have you ever done like an email append and sent?
Scares the crap out of me. Wouldn't touch it
I
with a
don't love
10-foot pole.
Yeah. Have you ever done any mailings or any other contact to those customers?
Physical mailing?
Only to enhance the customer experience. Did you get the item? What did you think of it? Will you leave a product review? How about a seller review? But you can't cross-promote any other item using that anonymized Amazon email. So we don't do anything with that email. You're just asking for trouble, in my opinion.
You can build through warranty to extra contact to your customers. From your customers, you can still get their emails.
The Amazon TOS says you can only email them specific to that order, right? So you can't sell them anything else. You can't send them anywhere else. That's it. Did you get the stuff? Will you leave a product review? Will you leave a seller
There are
review?
tricky ways to do it. You can kind of send them to a squeeze page. You can put inserts in. There are ways to do it. But any and all those, really, you're technically against the terms of service. Amazon really wants to keep them in the Amazon.
Yeah, we don't do anything
Understandably so.
gray hat or black hat. It's just too easy
So,
to make money following the rules and doing it the right way.
So,
okay, that's what the one-day workshop's going to cost. What we're going to do is anybody that wants to come to that, as long as we have the space, we're going to give you a year of Ecomm Elite membership for free. So it's a wash, because that's what a year costs. For any of our current members that want to do this, we'll stop billing you. The $199 a month you're paying, we'll just turn it off for a year. So if you want to come, we're trying to just kind of make it a break even for you, all right? But that's the big pitch.
those that are members, we will be doing, or want to join and become members, we will be doing a full webinar on it to see the numbers, because it's hard, it's impossible to see. If you see the full breakdown of what's going on with the numbers, we'll do that next week or early the week after.
Yep.
For a real breakdown of what's going on there.
At the bottom, you'll notice a list of states: Arkansas, Colorado, Maine, Missouri, Rhode Island, Vermont. If you live in one of those states, Amazon cannot let you into their affiliate program because of sales tax issues, all right? And we're not going to get into workarounds, okay? We're just saying flat out, understand, if you live in Colorado, now these things change too. As Amazon challenges and as state laws change with respect to sales tax, these states come and go. So you just got to kind of understand that there's that issue also.
What about international Canada?
For affiliate, international for Canada?
Yeah, no problem.
From the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was going to say, don't ask myself. Do they have anybody not available international?
No. If you're international, sales tax is not an issue. And they don't care who sends them the traffic. They're perfectly fine with living wherever except the states that have the sales tax issue.
Have you, along the same lines as my other question, have you ever uploaded your customer list to Facebook and done a targeting? So targeting your customers with future offers, through Facebook ads or something of that nature?
Creating custom audiences, sure. We do a lot of different things with Facebook to target, but you can't do it with an Amazon anonymized email. And if you're going to take that email and take it to a service to try to find a real email address to then send it up to Facebook to create, I don't do that kind of stuff.
Right.
I'm not saying right, wrong, or otherwise. I'm just saying I don't do that.
Facebook wouldn't allow you, without an email address, just with the address, phone number, and the information they give you, that's not enough to target them on Facebook then, I guess?
No, and actually they've tightened that whole
They've
custom
tightened it a lot.
audience
You
thing
used to be
way
able
down.
to you used to be able to just scrape Facebook IDs, but that got way out of control fast. Now you can't do it with just a Facebook ID anymore. You have to do it with an ID and you know.
But you're in my opinion, you're getting a little overcomplicated because it's so easy just to use the Power Editor to create 4 ad groups and do your A/B testing and do the demographics correctly.
In our opinion on all of that, is anything that's kind of gray or against terms of service, God, it may be a loophole or maybe a hack, but it's going to go away. We talk to the programmers at Amazon fairly often. You're in there once every month and a half or so.
Couple months, yeah.
We visited them last time. They're smart people. They're really, really smart people.
I mean, we're talking about lassoing the moon and bringing it closer to the Earth, kind of smart.
Well, literally speaking, there's a dude, I don't want to say who it was or whatever, but the Higgs boson particle, the God particle, anybody that nerds out on physics and that kind of stuff, the person that helped develop the program and found the Higgs boson particle, he's like, yeah, I'm part of Amazon now. So they're taking really smart people and putting them in there. So finding hacks and loopholes and that kind of stuff, it works. It may work great, and I've got this great tool and it's going to be awesome. Man, I just don't love to play that game.
You know,
because accounts get suspended all the time for that stuff.
While we're answering questions, Rebecca, would you hand? I got a little poll. I just want everybody to take just to let us know how we did, what you hated.
I want to say, which you probably thought we forgot about her. Where's the camera?
Oh yes.
Who knows Amy?
Hi,
Who knows Amy Christian?
Hi.
Amy Christian in the group?
Yeah.
Amy's a big help. Hi,
Amy does a lot for us.
Thank you so
She
much
helps
for all
out
the
with
help.
all the admin, and she'll answer a lot of Facebook questions before
And
we.
thanks to a couple in our training, you'll see a few things. Todd mentioned something before. We do a lot of spitballing. Thanks to some of our members that got us some great shirts. Todd loves to spitball. Brainstorm is usually the normal way people talk, but we spitball, and Todd put the spit in spitball. We also, when we look at private label products, I talked about eating around the edges, but unsexy products, we're pretty unsexy people, and we do unsexy products. That's kind of our motto is stay away from the really sexy, awesome products that everybody's in. There's 250 million products on Amazon at this point, plus. Why are we all going after the same dang products? Okay.
You know what, and that's a good point, and I don't want to go down too many rabbit holes, but just so you guys know, the very next thing that we're going to do for our membership group is we are going to develop a database of 2.2 million products that are in Amazon that meet our criteria for buying or selling. Stuff that you normally won't be able to find in research because the stuff's buried. I mean, how do you know where to find these unsexy products that, they're just not ranked well enough? Amazon gives you what, the top 100. That's it, they cut it off, all right? So what we've done is we're gonna get the 2.2 million products that we feel are looking at, the keywords that people are using to search for these products, and make that database available to our membership. So they don't have to wonder anymore, is this a good product? If it's in there, it meets the requirements for us. So now you're just talking about sourcing or private labeling, not researching. I mean, we're trying to make it as simple as we can. So I kind of just threw that right out there, but let me tell you, boom, it's a big one. That's a big one.
Did you get service? Pull a couple more?
Sure.
Anybody that joins tonight on Ecomm Elite, if you want to, it is Las Vegas. If you join tonight, we're going to put in the back a way to sign up. You can do it on your phone, show us that you had a receipt. You get a $100 bill if you want to as well, just because you're here on a Friday night in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
If you want to join, you're not a member yet.
When we're done here, we'll go to the back of the room. If you want to pay for the workshop, we can do that for you and get you in before it fills up. Everybody that does that, we'll give a $100 bill to.
Show us a PayPal receipt if you do it on your phone. If you have Photoshop skills good enough to fake that in that short amount of time,
We'll give you $200 bills in there.
Hell yeah. Written in pencil.
Steve, will you pull one for me? Will you make somebody happy?
Pull your own name, Steve. Do it. I'll take odds on that, actually.
Mark Baumgartner.
Oh, the front row guy. Yeah, front row dude.
Brent? Red. Oh.
Yeah. Let it ride, baby. Let it ride.
All right. Yeah, we just asked, please take a minute, fill out the.
As you can tell, as non-internet marketer guys, we whip stuff together. We want to, we're not really great at these things. So put on the card, say, anything you want. Say, this was really awful.
And by the way, we've
never
done anything like this before.
And you can tell.
Yeah,
right?
when he said we're not internet marketers, I mean, that probably shows.
It probably shows. So thank you all for coming. We're going to wind this part of it down. We want to stay and hang out, talk to members, network. I mentioned to our membership, they know, Todd and I had talked at a recent live event in Las Vegas. You might be familiar with last February, and we met face to face. And from that, joint venture was born. This joint venture was born. Good things happen. Meet people, meet partners, meet people in the same niche, meet some new friends from around the world. Okay, that's really what the intention of this was for, honestly, since we started it for that purpose. All right, so enjoy your time. We'll do Q&A instead of doing it up front here. We want to just kind of mingle around and get everybody talking.
We'll stick around.
We're going to be here as long as you guys want to be here until they kick us out.
The bar is going to be closing in a little bit, I guess. So just
run.
wanted to mention that.
So thanks for coming, everybody. We'll talk to everybody soon.
I've thought about it. I've got a lot of people who follow me on Facebook and stuff. But honestly, I don't want to get distracted. I've thought about it. I really say that I'll slot the Skype to a new list to do that.
Awful, and you may think this is great, but really take a hard look and say, can you look at this and get someone else's sort of, and just look, because that could be 3,000 sessions is not a lot in the Amazon space, but if you just have a product and go, I don't understand what this is versus the title and the bullets, I'm not going to buy it. That might happen. It might happen. Or you can reach out to Amazon and escalate that, make a case, start a case, and escalate it, and say, this is happening, this is really weird. I have like 1% conversion.